time for our first fill up. Let's see how much we can save with these crazy fuel prices. Hopefully we can get a good discount from our savings card, our TSD savings card.
It is $5.25 a gallon, so pray for us.
Fingers crossed. We've received so many questions about the rising cost of fuel. We thought it was time to clear the air.
Yeah, everybody wants to know, what are you doing? How's fuel impacting your travels this summer?
So we thought we'd talk about the impact of rising fuel costs on all RVers and give you guys some little tips to help you lower your fuel costs this summer.
Yeah, you'll be surprised to hear what RVers are saying about the fuel costs.
If you think this summer surge on gas prices are going to empty up the campgrounds, you have another thing coming.
That's right, RVers are still going to get out there and hit those campgrounds.
According to two huge surveys of RVers, one by Outdoorsy, which is a rental place, and the other by
RVIA.
RVIA, people will be hitting campgrounds more than ever before.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, 55% of those surveyed said they're going to RV more this year than last year.
And 45% of them said they're looking at another RV purchase, which is crazy.
Also, most of these people that were surveyed say they believe RVing is the cheapest way to vacation. It's much cheaper than airlines and hotels and eating out all the time.
According to Outdoorsy, 58% of Americans have cut their budget so that they can keep their vacation on track.
And business is still booming for the RV industry. According to
RVIA.
I keep wanting to say NRVIA.
Nope, wrong.
Sales are still climbing. Sales for last month were 16% higher than 2021. So RVs are still flying off the shelf. There's not a hit yet from our economy.
No, and that just shows that, we want to get out there and camp, and there's a ton of like-minded people out there.
Before we get to those fabulous tips on how to save on overall fuel costs, let's talk about what we're doing because of rising fuel.
Yeah, one of the things we're doing is we're staying a little bit longer at whatever location we're at. So instead of 3 to 4 days, we're going to stay about 7 days so that we can stretch that fuel dollar.
We are also going to be driving shorter distances between the campgrounds. So instead of us doing our famous hauls from, say, Texas to Florida, we're going to do shorter jaunts so we're not having to drive as far.
Yeah, if you're in an area, hop around that area for a good 4 to 6 weeks if you have the time to do that.
Pick a state and just bounce around that state instead of trying to hit all the U.S. in a 2-month time frame. So that's really going to help save the miles, which will save fuel.
And finally, we're using our fuel app, the TSD Open Roads Fuel Saving app, and it's for diesel rigs and trucks right now, diesel fuel only. However, they are working on trying to get the gas side of things brought into the program. So if you don't have it, we'll put a link down below for that blog to show you how to get into the TSD Open Roads Fuel app.
Yeah, it's a fuel savings program. It's not just an app. So
that's true.
It's free to join. Once you have the card, you do have to use the trucker lanes right now until the gas is added on to get your savings. So they negotiate discounts with each of these companies. So you can save anywhere from 10 cents a gallon all the way up to 76 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
According to them, currently the average is about 40 to 45 cents a gallon. That's the average nationwide.
Right, and you get to see your savings instantly on the app. As soon as you're done fueling, I always check the app, and man, I tell you, when I see that I saved $24, $26 on a fill-up, kind of gives me a warm fuzzy.
Now, there are other apps you can use to save on not only diesel, but gas. So, Gas Buddy is one of them, and we have 2 blogs loaded full with apps that can help save you money, whether you're on the diesel side or the gas side, because even with our gas card, we still want to save on filling up the Jeep until, gas is added on. So we have a couple blogs that are going to help you with these savings, and we'll drop the links for those down below.
We mentioned tips earlier, so now let's go over a few of those.
First up, know your tire pressure.
Yeah, that's imperative. You should be doing that, or you should know that anyway. And the best way to know what tire pressure to put in your tires is to have your rig weighed. Knowing the proper weight will help you inflate to the proper PSI.
If your tires are underinflated for your RV, it will actually decrease your gas mileage. So make sure those tire pressures are spot on.
That's right. And if you don't have a TPMS, you need to get one of those. And knowing when to fill up is also paramount. Doing it first thing in the morning when the temps are cooler, you get more bang for your buck.
That's right, because fuel will expand as the temperature rises throughout the day, so you don't actually get as much fuel as if you are doing it first thing in the morning. And also, the best days to fill up are usually Wednesdays or Thursdays, because the highest price hikes usually happen before the weekend travel surge.
That's true. That's a good point. I didn't even know that. When you're fueling up, slow it down. You don't have to put the trigger lock on the highest setting or the fastest setting. Put it on a lower lock. That way the fuel goes into the tank slower. The faster you pump, the more vapors it causes. The vapors are then pulled out and put into a holding tank, and then you're getting less fuel than you actually think you're getting.
Another really good tip is do not fill up your vehicle if the gas station is filling up its holding tanks. When they fill up the tanks, it stirs up all their fuel and sediment rises to the top, and you're going to be putting that sediment into your tank.
Yeah, that's a big no-no. Another thing is stop idling. And what I mean by that is as soon as you pull into your spot, turn off your vehicle and or your rig as soon as possible. And then when you're getting ready to leave, wait till the last possible minute to start it before you head out.
And RVers are really bad about this. We tend to start up our car, hitch it up, or hitch up the truck or move things around, and we just let it run forever.
Yeah.
So it is much more fuel efficient to start and stop than to leave it running the whole time. And your neighbor might appreciate the less noise along the way.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to get out of there at 7 in the morning. All right, here's my number one tip. This is what I live by in both my car and the RV. Never let your tank get below half a tank. The less you have in your tank, the more that your fuel is going to evaporate. If you keep it at half full, then you create less airspace in your tank. I never, regardless of what I'm driving, let it go below a half a tank. Somebody else I know will wait till the light comes on and then some.
Got 30 miles after the light, right?
Yeah, but now she realizes that the more air in your tank, the more your gas will evaporate. I don't think she'll change. She'll still let it drain all the way down.
All right, so for me, my tip would be, Phil, stay off the lead foot. So whenever you accelerate quickly, that whole hit the gas to go fast, slam on the brakes now to slow down, that uses a lot more gas than if you keep it slow and steady. And no, he is not always going around cars every 5 minutes.
But let me tell you, Ruby has the need for speed. She operates better when she's going.
Whatever. This is not only for the RV, but also for your vehicles. Along with that whole acceleration thing, use your cruise control as much as possible. This is another way to keep you from absent-mindedly accelerating when you don't need to. It keeps you steady, which will help conserve fuel.
Yeah, as soon as I get up to speed at 65 miles an hour, I put the cruise lock on and we're good to go. Here's one that I really don't like, dropping a few pounds. Not me, but Ruby. So what we do periodically is we go through and we purge, and we've gotten her weighed, and the best way to do that is get a 4-corner weight. But again, going back to proper tire inflation, knowing your PSI is also knowing your rig's weight. So if you're a little heavy in the tail section, you got to lighten the load.
And even if you are underweight, getting rid of the unnecessary pounds, things you're not using, does help your fuel efficiency. So if you're carrying some stuff around that you've had for a long time and you forgot you had it, or you haven't seen it in forever,
Right.
Go ahead and offload it, get it off the rig, and that way it'll help your fuel costs.
Yeah, we were guilty of that in the beginning. We were carrying around things that we never even pulled out of the rig in over a year's time.
Just in case.
Yeah, no more just in case. Fuel costs too much. Another great idea is to use fuel apps.
Do it!
That's right. Not only do they help you find the nearest gas station or fuel stops, but they also let you know what your discounts are ahead of time. For us, TSD is as soon as you find the gas station in your direction or the fuel station in your direction, it tells you what the pump price is and what your discount price is. So, I mean, that's great for planning your trips around your fuel stops.
And even if you don't have a discount program, there are apps that will tell you the current fuel prices of all the gas stations, not just for truck stops, but regular gas stations. So you can download any of those apps for your tow vehicle or your motorhome that will help you find the cheapest prices out there without going really far out of your way, burning unnecessary fuel to find it.
Yeah, another one of the key things that burns me up is if I have to go 25 miles off my route to get to the cheapest fuel, you're not really saving fuel.
All right, finally, our last tip is to slow it down. Believe it or not, ideal fuel efficiency for vehicles are speeds of 55 to 65 miles an hour. If you're Phil doesn't buy this because Phil likes to go fast. Not
What?
necessarily in the RV, but you know, that Jeep can get up to high speeds.
Yeah, I do. I push the speed limit in the Jeep, but I don't. Periodically, I do it in the RV, but I do not hit 85 in the RV.
Oh, heck no. But studies have shown that that is the best way to get good fuel mileage is to keep your speeds low. So if you are driving 85 miles an hour, you will use 40% more fuel than if you're driving 70 miles an hour. That's just an example. So slow it down and you will save on your fuel.
Yeah, you know, just about every road in Texas is 75 or higher. And, you know, I like to go the speed limit or a little bit over, depending on where I'm at or where I'm going. But in the RV especially, these things are gas and fuel guzzlers. So if you're looking to save some bucks at the pump, check these tips out.
All right, so now some of these tips are only going to save you a tiny bit, while others will save you more with your fuel efficiency. But if you do them all and put them all together, it is a great way to save on fuel costs overall.
Yeah, and if you have some fuel-saving tips that we haven't covered or that work for you really well, drop those down in the comments because we and everybody else reading them can learn a few things.
Now, we don't want to hear park your RV because that is never happening for us.
No, we are full-time RVers for a reason.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll just plan accordingly and
adjust our budget and figure out what we have to do.
So we're still going to get out there and stay out there. That's for dang sure.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for popping over to watch these fuel-saving tips. Make sure you hit those blogs for more info. And before we let you go, we need to let you in on something that's going on. Phil has no idea where I'm going with this right now. But we have some amazing news that's going to be coming out in our newsletter in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
There's limited space in our announcement. We can't say what it is yet, but if you want to be one of the first ones to hear the news, you have to sign up for our newsletter. So if you have not signed up yet, the link is down below. Join the newsletter so you don't miss out on your opportunity to join us at something unusual and fun and amazing, and we can't wait to share it with you.
And the only part of that I know of is what that is. So I'm pretty excited about it. And let me tell you, you want to get in that newsletter, you want to find out what it is. We'd love to see your smiling faces with us.
Now, if you're wondering why there's a 2-week delay, well, that's easy because our Sunday crew always gets first dibs on anything amazing and new that we're doing. So they get first dibs. So, you know, if you want to get first dibs in the future, you have to join the crew, and we'll put a link for that down below too.
Exciting times. I mean, I'm telling you, we've got.
We are bouncing off the walls. We can't wait.
We can't wait for that, and it's just something that's been in the works for a minute. So again, you want to join
the
us.
newsletter.
Yeah, you want to join us. I know you. Look, I see you right now looking for where you could sign up for that newsletter.
All right, guys, thanks again for watching. We hope these tips help you stay on the road and save some money while you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, times are tough. We get it. Everybody's trying to do their part. Share the wealth. Share these with your friends that are out there doing it as well or even thinking about it.
All right, that's it.